In Korea, housing is more than just a place to live. It is a key asset. That's why expectations about future housing prices don't simply remain psychological. They directly influence real transactions and how house prices are formed. When expectations become overheated, excessive buying behavior, such as panic buying or borrowing to the limit, can emerge. This can fuel rapid increases in housing prices and household debt, ultimately posing risks to financial stability. An analysis of the trend of housing price expectations in Korea shows that they are highly volatile, yet once they take hold, they tend to persist for a long time. In other words, housing price expectations tend to move sharply in one direction for a certain period, and once the trend shifts, they accelerate just as strongly in the opposite direction. Moreover, these expectations tend to move ahead of actual housing prices. The lead time is estimated at around 8 months. These expectations are influenced more by other economic variables than by the past trends of housing prices themselves. Industrial production and the Kospi Index, which reflect income and overall economic conditions, can boost household purchasing power and in turn positively influence actual housing prices. As a result, they have stimulated housing price expectations. Higher interest rates tend to dampen housing demand, while an increase in housing starts raises expectations of greater supply, both of which can put downward pressure on housing prices. As a result, these factors have weakened housing price expectations. In particular, when expectation shocks arise from external factors such as housing-related policy measures, they can not only push actual housing prices higher, but also drive up industrial production and inflation. In addition, shocks to housing price expectations are shown to significantly push up household lending, suggesting that heightened expectations can drive excessive borrowing. Housing price expectations can also shift due to endogenous factors, such as monetary policy. A shock from an interest rate cut leads to increases in industrial production, housing prices, and inflation, and the analysis indicates that it particularly boosts housing market sentiment in the short run. Interestingly, the analysis suggests that if housing price expectations have been more effectively contained through stronger policy measures since 2020, both the actual housing price inflation rate and the household debt to GDP ratio would have remained lower and more stable. In other words, maintaining stability in housing price expectations is crucial for safeguarding financial stability. This raises an important question: what policy measures should be prioritized? The analysis shows that the stimulative effect of interest rate cuts on housing price expectations becomes larger and more persistent when macroprudential policies are in an easing phase. Conversely, when microprudential policies are tightened, the impact is limited. Ultimately, this suggests that ensuring stability in the housing market requires close coordination between monetary policy and macroprudential policy. In conclusion, during periods of interest rate cuts, macroprudential policy should be strengthened to prevent financial imbalances from rising through overheating in the housing market.